Interpret things like that any way you want, but John Calipari, as I mentioned, was in a good place. That just sounds like a guy who thinks that he's got what it takes to win it all. That's not a guy saying, oh, great, got to meet my media obligations, got to get this done. Man, I got a game to get ready for. That sounds like a guy who's been here before, knows what to expect, is loving the process, and most of all, is very confident in what he has. He just sounds like a guy who expects to win. Not a guy who hopes he's going to win, not a guy who knows he's a year ahead of schedule. That sounds like a guy who's very comfortable and very confident. We got this. He didn't say anything like that. In no way did he disrespect the opposition. I'm just talking about the way he came off. He came off like a we got this kind of guy. I'm not saying they do or don't. I'm saying he's the coach and he knows what he has. And he just sounds like he's in a really good place. I've interviewed him a lot over the years, and that's normally the way he does show up. But we're talking about showing up right before the Final Four that way. It sounds like a guy who knows that if he wins a championship in Kentucky, he's golden for the next 400 years. And like I said yesterday, in Kentucky, they measure success in terms of Final Fours. And the fact that he's got them there for the first time in 13 years means that he's bought himself at least 13 more years. And that he did it with this team. A team that's not as talented as the team he had last year. He's done a great job with that team. Win that thing and he probably is set for another 313 years. All right, a couple of quick hit emails. Van Smack, you have to tip your hat to Coach Cal. Say what you want about him, but the guy lost 5 guys to the NBA, could barely win on the road during the regular season, and here he is in the Final Four with his 3rd different team. That's coaching. Yeah, essentially that was my take yesterday. I burned twice on this on JRIB. That no matter when you talk about John Calipari, there's always going to be that element to say, yeah, but, or what about. And it's true. They had to vacate his Final Four appearance at UMass and also at Memphis. There's always going to be that with John Calipari. Notice nobody's saying that about Jim Calhoun. Jim Calhoun has already been suspended for next year. I'm not hearing anything like that about him. Fact of the matter is, though, John Calipari was looking at a transitional year. This was a bridge year. The guy lost 5 guys to the NBA, and you're right, they couldn't beat anybody on the road. January and February were miserable. But he got them to come together. He got guys to make sacrifices. I don't think this team is as talented as the one he had last year, but it's definitely more unselfish, with better chemistry, better grit, better heart, more toughness. If you look at those two teams on paper, you would definitely say last year's team should have been the Final Four team, not this year's. Yet here they are. This email says, Jimmer, I'm curious as to whether or not yourself and Jay Stu purposely scheduled Coach Stevens and Coach Cal back-to-back. They seem to be 2 guys who have led 2 teams to the same pinnacle of the college basketball game, but they could not be more different. Coach Stevens seems so level-headed and calm and able to act as an emotional buffer for the Butler crew. His team seems to reflect his personality, calm and cool in all 40 minutes of every game. Coach Cal, on the other hand, seems slightly out of his mind. He seems as excitable and slightly self-centered as most college athletes and is laying out stories of Twitter wars with his players. His team arguably reflects his personality. 2 different guys going about it 2 different ways, achieving the same results. Good stuff, Jim. Trevor in Calgary. No, that was not our intent. I mean, when 2 Final Four coaches, when they're available the week of, you take them as you can get them. That was not our intent. I did not say, hey, Jay Stu, these are 2 really different cats. What do you say we put them back to back, juxtapose them so everybody can see? No, that's not what that was. That's if you want this guy, you can have him at this time. But they are different. I'll tell you what the one thread is, though. Both they're totally different guys who go about it totally different ways, but the one consistency is both their players bust their asses for them. They play hard. Cal's guys have always played hard for him. They love him. They sell out for him. Brad Stevens' guys play awfully hard for him. In fact, that's why they are where they are the last 2 years. They play hard. They've got incredible will and resiliency. Different guys, different approaches. It's so fascinating to me. Look at Brad Stevens, and you wonder how he gets him to play so hard. Not through fear, not through intimidation, not by beating him down, not by screaming at him. I mean, he almost never even changed his expression. But the guy gets so much out of him. It's like Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy. All NFL coaches are screamers and dictators. Tony Dungy was always so calm, but guys so badly wanted to get his respect and not to disappoint him. B. Jones, CEO, tweets at me. Great. At UK Coach Calipari, interview on Jim Rome Radio Show. The nation is ready for banner number 8. Everybody will bow down. Well, the Wildcat Nation is out. The Wildcat Nation is feeling it. That is a strong, strong, proud nation, the Cat Nation. And it's been a long time, and they've been waiting, and they are feeling it. That's 13, but felt like 100 years. ST White 5 at Jim Rome. Coach Cal is a god in Big Blue Nation. He's taken our Cats back to glory land. No one beats the Cats, yo.
Yo.
I can only go with what I'm seeing via Twitter and the emails. But Big Blue Nation is feeling it. And you know they're going to represent in Houston. You know they're going. They'll buy up as many tickets as they possibly can. They're going to represent. You ever seen Kentucky play? I've seen Kentucky at the Final Four. In fact, the last time they were there, I was there. The fans stand the entire game. We stood the entire game. I was in their section. It was incredible. The student section. They stood the entire game. Janet and I are like, hey, we don't go to school here. Can we sit down? You can feel it, though. We were there the last time they went.